Hello, hello, hello. It's me, QwertyAfro here. Welcome back to another video. It has been, wow, I think it's been like 3 or 4 months now, hasn't it? The last time I checked, I don't know. It's been a while, guys. I do apologize that I have not blessed your screens here on YouTube in that kind of time period, but you know, I've been busy. I've also taken I took a little hiatus basically as well. Like, I just couldn't maintain doing YouTube and work commitments and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a thing of like I couldn't do YouTube, but then also I took the time off just to reflect, as I normally do. You know, I do these little hiatuses and stuff like that, but I think this is one of my longest ever pauses and kind of breaks on YouTube. So I hope I didn't give any of you guys a shock or like, oh my god, QWERTY's dead or something like that. I'm not. I'm here. I'm alive. Welcome back to another video. We're back in here straight into some Fernbus Coach Simulator. We're not going to beat around the bush here today. We're in Paderborn today. And yes, I do know that Austria/Switzerland has come out for the game. I will be covering that very soon. I do have it. The lovely folks of Aerosoft did send me that my way when it did come out, and I'm thankful to them. I'll definitely can't wait to get a look on that for you, and I know you guys have been waiting for me to kind of get onto it in this actual Fernbus series, so I cannot wait to, you know, have a drive around in Switzerland, have a drive around in Austria. But today I thought, you know, just get back in, relax ourselves back into this whole YouTube thing, because I've not sat down and actually recorded a video in like, you know, 3-4 months. That's crazy. Like, even though it still comes naturally to me, but it's still a bit foreign after, if you haven't done it in quite a long while, it can be a bit like bizarre. But I'm back. I hope you guys have had a lovely couple of months without me. You know, it's sort of spring/summer already now. We've had some really good days, and we can get into that kind of chit chat on the way here. As you can see, the reskin I'm going for in this episode of my Fernbus series is a skin that's a bit dear to me, because I do see these coaches all the time. It's a very kind of local coach to me, of like where I drive on the M40/A40 here into London in the northwest part. And it is the Oxford Tube. It's another reskin done by Jan, and if you do not know who Jan is on the workshop, he's basically he does get actually quite a lot of reskins, repaints on the workshop for this game as well. He's doing a huge UK collection of repaints. I'll leave the link down below. Also, do check out his profile for all of his other kind of repaints that he does do, because I think he's one of the best repainters out there. But today, driving in the Neoplan Skyliner in this really fabulous Oxford Tube, Stagecoach Oxford Tube repaint. And I thought today we'd do Paderborn to Osnabrück, as Osnabrück is one of the cities that starts with an O, because obviously we can't do Oxford because the UK isn't in the game yet. Maybe, I do not know. So let's just get on board, let's get things set up, let's get driving. It's been too long. It's been way too long. One thing I want to also kind of go through as well, because there actually has been like an update with the game before Austria and Switzerland did come out. Before I get into that, the shoutouts for this video go to Ryan Tan and LL10 Gaming. That's again Ryan Tan and LL10 Gaming. Their links and stuff will be down below. Show them some love. If you would like a shout out, please use the QWERTY forms link down below in the description. Cool, my tracker is I think just about raring to go. One thing that I want to mention is the update just before Austria and Switzerland, when that came out. Before that, there was another update to the game, something that I was so looking forward to, and everyone I think who does play this game with the steering wheel was looking forward to, is that force feedback for the steering wheels is now finally in this game. So right now I'm turning my wheel, it has a lot of weight to it. Before it was just all loose and light. It was like basically super duper city driving mode engaged on the steering wheel, where you didn't have any sort of feedback whatsoever. It was so light. While now there's actually some weight to the steering, and I've actually did test it out while driving a bit, like here and there, and you do feel the difference. But we'll get onto that once we actually get ahead and start driving. Another major one is if you do press, I think it's tab, and when you can add like your navigation screen stuff, your mirrors and stuff like that, additional stuff on your HUD, you can now go onto this, which now adjusts the seat, so you can do your kind of reach and stuff here. You can do your kind of position here, which I think is really useful, because sometimes I do feel like with track IR especially, you can kind of get a bit off center, and then you can just recenter it here, or you can recenter your track IR, to be honest. But with track IR, I think this is a little less necessary. It is nice if you don't have track IR and you want to adjust your kind of position in the cab, if you want it a bit back, a bit lower, a bit higher, etc. I think in the Neoplan Skyliner, the main thing I had concerns with is that with track IR, or even without track IR, I think the seat position is a little bit too high. It feels like your head's literally like brushing the ceiling, because it is quite a low ceiling. But now you can do that with some nice seat configuration controls with the update just before Austria and Switzerland came out. But enough of that. Let's get this motor on. Oh, one thing I think you can actually hear it is the stereo is sort of on. I'll leave it on like a very low thing, because I don't normally like putting the stereo on, like even if I'm driving in this game, but it is there on. It's, I think this was there was a media update, but the media update had like licensed like a kind of GTA style sort of radio, but I think it's now available to everyone, and it's a bit fiddly, but it's there. Get a nice radio, which is really nice. I'm gonna sort out the lights and stuff, I think, when I get to the station. Everything else should be A-OK. Have a nice little, actually, little flyby here off the Repaint. It looks really nice. Nice sunny day, I put it actually in the game, because, you know, we've been having some good days right now in the UK this last, like, couple of weeks. It definitely feels like it literally went from like winter from one day to literally summer the next day. It was like really bizarre, like below 10 degrees to like above 20 degrees. It was just crazy. Right, let me get that into gear. One thing which would be good if I do actually close the front door, and then we can actually slowly start to head off. But guys, it's been too long. It feels like it's been too long. Like, it just feels so weird for me. Just, I drive in real life. It's not weird for me to drive a vehicle, but it feels weird to me to drive in Fernbus. You know, I've not touched anything. I haven't touched Train Sim. I haven't touched OMSI in like 2 years, and I've already told you my kind of position with OMSI and when it will return on the channel, and only on that condition will it return on the channel. But I hope you guys are alright. I don't know if you guys are still here. I don't know how many of you guys will see this in your subscription box, because obviously when you become a little less active on YouTube, the channel subscriptions from certain channels become less like viewed on your kind of subscription kind of module and stuff on YouTube. So sometimes like this video will be published out, and then like I don't know, maybe like 40% of you guys will see it. I'm gonna just pop over here into this lane, because we're gonna have to take a left soon, so rather be prepared. But yeah, so I don't know, like there's gonna be like some of you that see it, some of you that don't see it, maybe like some of you like in a week are like, oh my god, QWERTY's alive. But I'm sure you guys will see it. I've been like, even though I've not been responding to a lot of comments lately, I have been reading like comments, so don't feel that you've been just commenting for nothing. I have been reading them. I just haven't really been replying to them. And I know that I have so much things to kind of catch up on, like right, I have like Austria and Switzerland to obviously cover for Fernbus. I have this guy gonna, okay, cool. I have 2 Train Sim World routes to cover because I didn't cover Rapid Transit when it came out, and I'm gonna turn off this radio. I really don't. There we go. We turn off that like that. Right. Anyway, let's set up everything we need to. Let's get the aircon on, like about 21.5 should do it because it feels kind of like it's sort of hot outside right now. Passenger monitor on, get the lights on, toilets, kitchen, Wi-Fi, you know, whatever, additional batteries and stuff like that. And then I think we switch over to here, get some comfort suspension on, why not, navigation's on, cruise control, none of that. Yeah, we can get some particle filtering on, and oh yeah, and of course the destination so people can see that we're going to Osnabrück today in our Oxford Tube repaint. Other than that, I think we're ready to actually get out here and let onboard our passengers. There we go. Guys, get your bags in. QwertyAfro is back, delivering these passengers to their destination. Let's just log into our pretend Oxford Tube app. And it's only one destination today, so we're not going to be really... Oh god, no. It's only one destination today, come on guys, don't be that confused, you know, I know... Oh god.
Hallo, bin ich, vielen Dank.
Yep.
Grüezi, bin ich hier richtig? Danke sehr. Hallo, das ist sehr freundlich.
I kind of just want to shuffle through all of them very fast. I've noticed as well they've also added more of these avatars, passenger avatars, which is cool. Someone that's forgotten to buy their tickets, of course. Where's Osnabrück? There's like so many more city names now because obviously there's now Austrian cities and like Wolfsburg, and then there's Zurich for like Switzerland, which is really cool. I really cannot wait to get onto, you know, driving in Austria and especially Switzerland as well, so we can go like into the Alps and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. Oh, there's my avatar. Yep. No, we're not going to Halle. Right. Everything on board. Everything good. Nice keyless MAN over there on that bus stop. Right. Not going to play the announcement because I only really play it for like FlixBus Routes, not really all these other kind of not these kind of other oh, hello. Start ride, because I remembered this time. Yeah, I normally don't play the announcements for like non-FlixBus routes. I only do it for like FlixBus routes. And this time, normally when I go like round these kind of round turnarounds, I normally take a right first and then go around, but I'm gonna go straight and then take a left, because why not? There we go. So as I was saying, with the things that I actually have to catch up with, I have to obviously cover the 2 Train Sim World routes, Rapid Transit and the American one. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, I have to do those 2. So expect like videos on those 2 routes in the near future. I don't know what's the kind of scheduling I'm gonna do with the games or whatever, but you should expect some things now that I'm sort of back. Really shines well in the light, this repaint. Like the red and the blue is really nice. Man, I have to say the stability of this game right now is so good. Like, I've noticed every update they do to this game, I definitely notice a difference. Right now, this is probably the smoothest. Every time I play it, it's the smoothest it's ever been. But if you guys want to let me know in the comments down below, if any of you guys have the Austria-Switzerland map, what do you guys think of it? My kind of initial kind of feeling of it when I looked at the actual size on the kind of in-game map when you're picking up like building your own kind of route, I was looking at the amount of cities and I was a bit, you know, a little bit like so with like the amount that they included. They mainly went, I suppose, for the northern kind of cities in Switzerland and northern and east, nothing really in the south. And as well as with Austria, it was mainly focused in the northern parts and like northwestern, northeastern. Nothing really in the south. So maybe, hopefully in the future, there could be some kind of like updates similar to how they extended stuff and added stuff in the Used and Free DLC. They could technically add free content to the Swiss and Austrian parts, I suppose. I don't know. Potentially. But then again, I still need to drive on them. I need to drive on the in Austria and in Switzerland to kind of see how it is, and because I followed it like till it released, like of like what they were adding to it and stuff like that. They obviously worked on quite a lot of new assets and stuff to be added. Just gonna merge here. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the kind of new stuff and new kind of you know, architectures and stuff like that in the cities, the kind of new kind of forestry and plants and stuff that you will see, obviously, because it's not going to be all the same. But yeah, and then with Train Sim World, I don't know if I'm looking forward to, because I've kind of seen already content on the rapid transit as well as the, I don't know if it's Northeast Corridor. I don't want to say because I've not really been that interested when I even saw the announcement for the American Train Sim World route, but we'll see how those are as well. And there's actually a few things as well for Train Sim as well that I kind of want to cover at some point as well. And there's like new games that are like almost coming out, like Bus Simulator 18, which looks interesting because obviously it has a multiplayer component, like an actual proper multiplayer one, like kind of similar to that kind of multiplayer mod that you get in OMSI, meshed with actually having actual players like in the Euro Truck multiplayer mod. Alright, we are nicely cruising along here. I think it's mainly just country road driving here up to Osnabrück. It's a very kind of short trip I'm doing with you guys today. I'm not doing anything too long or anything with like intermediate stops. I just kind of wanted a nice kind of video to kind of gel back in, let you guys know that I'm back, and you know, hopefully, you know, more content to come on the channel. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. It's almost coming up to the summer, because I could have technically easily continued not making content, but I felt like it was a time to come back. And as I said, I normally go on certain hiatuses and stuff like that. The only reason why this hiatus has kind of lasted longer than the others is that I've, like, work's been not stressful, but just it's definitely very impacted my kind of not my social life, but like just my kind of my own personal hours. So I would feel like more tired and just lacking the motivation and energy to do videos. And I never want to, and I've always been straight with you guys, I'd never want to make videos if I'm not like motivated or like I really want to make them. I would only want to make videos if I want to make them. I like right now today I was like, you know what, I want to get back to you guys, make a video. You know, I wanted to do a Fernbus video because, you know, there's a lot of stuff with Fernbus like that I'm missing, and I really wanted to actually record some stuff and, you know, record some journeys for you guys. And, you know, that's my kind of my work ethic with YouTube. I want to do the videos. I don't want to just have to do them just for the sake of doing them. I want to do them because I want to do them. There we go, nice left turn. And also I've seen there's quite a lot of like other kind of neat little games and stuff like that. I like that you guys previously, when I did the first look video of Train Station Simulator, you guys really liked that. I want to kind of get into doing maybe some more, like introducing some new games to the channel, but not like a series, just as like little first look videos, like the Train Station Simulator one, which I didn't feel it was going to become a series. I kind of just wanted to show you that because I thought it was like a cool little like niche game. And maybe, I don't know if you guys would want me to do some more kind of stuff like that, and if there's any suggestions, always feel free to, you know, comment down in the comment section. But then also, another thing you might be wondering is by the kind of things that I've added in the, I think I've added it to the pre-intro or just after the intro, as well as after the outro or pre-outro. I don't know how yet I've edited it, but I am now sort of sponsored, or I've partnered up with a brand, which I think is my first ever on the channel, like proper like sponsored kind of thing. And I don't really like doing sponsorships. You've never really seen me do any sort of sponsorship on the channel because I'm not really into them that much, as well as most of the stuff. And I do get contacted by a lot of different companies, app developers, game devs and stuff like that, to basically try loads of these different products, loads of games and stuff like that. And most of the stuff just does not gel with my channel, so there's no point in me picking up like some sort of like sponsor deal, or even just a partnership or something like that. And this is more like just a partnership. I'm not getting any sort of money from this company. I'm just like partnering with them, and they basically just supply me with their product. And I think it's a pretty good product because it's something actually that I used and I've been using quite a lot. And I'll be like doing I'll be talking about it more like in like, you know, not every single video, but from here and there. And I might even make a dedicated like little kind of review video of the actual product. And it's a NAU energy drink, NAU. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's NAU or just now, basically, but their whole thing is like hashtag now generation, and it's a caffeine-free energy drink. So it has no caffeine in it. It just has specific things that target your brain and your mind, and basically make you focus without the kind of like jitters and any of the kind of like caffeine crashing kind of effects that you would get if you, like, say, drank a lot of coffee or something, or even a lot of Red Bull or something like that. And then after you'd get like jitters, you'd get like crashes and stuff like that. Oh, I shouldn't have gone into the slow lane here. I thought I'd be a kind of like sensible driver here, and kind of like, you know, obviously this is an overtaking kind of dual carriageway lane thing we just came into, but there was a lorry, and I don't think he's going to have the enough oomph to kind of overtake me, so I had to kind of slip in there. But yeah, as I was saying, so this NAU esports drink, it's like kind of tailoring it as like an esports gaming sort of drink as well. You can also use it in just normal situations where you want to, like, you know, when you're doing work, homework, like assignments and stuff like that, and you just need that bit of extra focus. This energy drink really does help, and I've been using it now for like about a month. And also I got my sister to test it. Like, I told her about it, and she actually tried it, and she's a law student, and she's doing quite a lot of she's in her last year right now, and she's doing quite a lot of assignments and essays, and she actually tried some when she was here visiting in London, and she was like, Sam, this actually works. It made me like focus. Like, she was like, it was so weird, the feeling was really weird when I took it. It was like I just couldn't, I had to focus on something, and like, it just made me always want to do something. And that's, I think, the best way to describe this drink. Every time I take it, it always makes me want to kind of focus on something and do something, and it kind of makes you alert to the point where, like, if you're not doing something, it's kind of a bit of a bit annoying, to say the least, because I've taken it sometimes just to see if it does anything without me doing anything, and it does actually like alert you to the point where you have to be doing something to keep your mind kind of focused on something. And that to me already just signifies that it worked. Because a lot of these kind of energy drinks, you think some of them could be gimmicks or whatever, and then obviously the ones with caffeine obviously do work because they're just basically a huge sugar rush. While this NAU energy drink that I have, that this company has sponsored me with, doesn't have any sugar in it at all. I don't think. It's very low sugar and very low cal as well, and it's a nice they only have one flavor currently. It's a lemon and elderflower kind of flavor. It's very subtle, very nice. Some people might like it, some people might not. It's just a very nice subtle kind of like fresh flavor, nothing too like sickly sweet like most energy drinks are. And I've been really liking it, and I'll leave their links and stuff for, obviously, because this is a partnership, and obviously I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. I'm not going to be like forcing you to buy this product, but I wanted to help them out, and I thought it's a cool partnership. I get like a free supply of this product, and I just have to kind of share information with you guys, and hopefully whenever they release any more new products, I'll let you guys know. And definitely give them a check out though. I'll leave their like information and stuff in the descriptions from now on in videos. So if you want to know what the thing is now that comes up like after or before the intro and before the outro, that's the kind of I'd say partnership. It's not really sponsor because they're not really sponsoring me. They're kind of just, it's just a kind of am I really speeding? Okay, whatever. It's more of a partnership. Like, it's just a partnership. I'm partnered with them, and I think it's a really cool product because I'm using it and I'm absolutely enjoying it. And I would not partner with like a product or whatever that I would not use. Like that's just not me. I thought I'd have a go, and any kind of deals or partnerships I'd ever do, say in the future of this channel, would be things that I'd want to try first before even letting you guys know. So, I've been using it for a month while I've not even been doing videos and stuff like that, and I've been using it for like other things like writing up stuff and stuff like that for work, and I have to say it's been really good and really effective. But enough of that. Enough of partnership talks. Right, going for a nice little town here. I think we're just about halfway to Osnabrück now. It's not bad. It's a nice little drive. I'm still thinking what for the next Fernbus episode, what I should do in terms of, obviously we're going to venture into Switzerland, I think, first, or even Austria. Probably Switzerland. I really want to go to Switzerland because I've recently been to Switzerland, actually. If you follow me on my Instagram, that's kind of like the best place I do like kind of social, personal, like life stuff, and I update that from time to time. That's probably the best place if you want to know what I'm doing when I'm not making videos. That's the best place to actually catch me. I don't really use Snapchat anymore, but I recently went to Switzerland, and it'd be interesting to kind of compare and contrast, because we like me and a couple of friends, we drove to Switzerland from London, and it was an interesting experience. It was something I wouldn't want to do again unless we had a nicer car. Not saying a nicer car, but more like a luxurious car, or if I wasn't driving so much, because it did draw out a bit. Because like I think the total length journey was like 8 hours of solid driving, but obviously there was there was 4 of us, and 2 of us like were sharing the kind of driving responsibility. So we didn't really take any sort of breaks. I think that was one of the kind of things that probably annoyed me the most, and why I would say, oh, I don't want to drive that much again. I think with a good amount of breaks, it'd be good. Like we took here and there little breaks, but we never took like an hour break or something like that. We took maybe a 15-20 minute break, and then we would just set off. Because me and my other friend who were driving, we were just like determined. We just wanted to get there. But it was an experience. It was really interesting driving through France. Took the ferry from Dover to Calais for the first time ever. Like I've never Actually, no, I have no. No, I've taken Eurotunnel. I've taken only time I've ever crossed the channel is with a coach with Eurotunnel. I've never actually taken a ferry, so this was my first time in my life taking the ferry across the channel, which was a cool experience. Went on a very old vessel on the way there, and then went on the very latest new vessel on the way back, which was a really nice experience. And then driving through France, I have to say one thing: if you want to drive through France, you're gonna have to have a big wallet. That's all I'm gonna say, because we wanted the quickest way, which was obviously taking the motorways, but in France, they have something called tolls, and whoa, like me driving in Eurotruck and like getting told every so often, and thinking, oh, that's just a little bit of change. I have quite a big bank account in Eurotruck, it's fine, it doesn't really bother you. But in real life, I think we went through 6 to 8 tolls throughout the whole journey, and I swear to you, the amount that it came up to, oh, it was scary. It was like almost, I think, more than the amount we paid for fuel, which, to put that in comparison, we did about like 800 to 900 miles, I think. Like, we drove all the way to like basically Geneva, so it was long, and obviously like we only felt, to be honest, the car I had at the time, the Audi A3, was pretty economical, but those tolls were probably the thing that stripped out our bank accounts. But it was all worth it. We went to Geneva because we wanted to go to the Geneva Motor Show, as well as we wanted to explore around and explore Geneva itself. Really nice city. I did actually put some pictures of the main train station at Geneva on my Instagram, and I got to see some non-UK trains for the first time, which was really cool. And the whole trip just generally was just really fun, just going somewhere different. It's always, I think, really nice to kind of like get a nice change of scenery here and there, and this trip was just so refreshing, and definitely driving made it a whole interesting experience compared to just like hopping on a plane or something. But I think if I had to pick my way of how I would have wanted to travel to Geneva, I probably would have taken train. I think that would have been like that would have been a probably my favorite experience to do. But maybe for another time. I still haven't been on Eurostar, and I would love to go on the Eurostar at some point. Well, we are currently can I make that? Yeah. We're currently, well, not in Osnabrück yet. We are in Bielefeld, which is I think an intermediate city stop here between Osnabrück and Paderborn, where we actually departed. Didn't put a stop in here, as I said. Just a nice quick little express service today, nothing fancy. One thing also in that update where I was talking about where they introduced force feedback as well as seat configurations and stuff, they fixed the bug or the issue where you would press the accelerator and you would literally just jolt off. You can notice that the acceleration is a lot more smoother and a lot more realistic, and that's something I've noticed heavily since day. So right now, if I press the accelerator, it nicely builds up and nicely flows away like a coach should. A coach is not a Ferrari, it won't go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Coach is supposed to glide like a feather, and that's what it's definitely doing, and that's what it's definitely giving me with the update. But I'm thinking what coach I should use for the inaugural Switzerland slash Austria trip. We're probably going to go first to Switzerland in a video, and then probably do like a Switzerland to Austria in another video, and then we'll go around Austria and Switzerland basically and do trips and stuff. I'll try and see if I can find realistic FlixBus routes and stuff to do, as well as potentially seeing if there's any sort of repaints with any kind of Swiss or Austrian coach operators as well, and see if there's any realistic routes I can do between, you know, within Switzerland, within Austria, between Switzerland and Austria, or between Austria and Germany, or Switzerland and Germany. Because if you remember in a episode, I did like a service that was supposed to start from Vienna, but I started from like the most easterly point in Germany, because obviously I could not start in Vienna because Vienna was not in the game back then. So it's gonna add a lot more variety and stuff like that, which I'm very much so looking forward to exploring with you guys. I think I'm just gonna, I've popped it in cruise control here. I'm not gonna actually go any faster than I need to really. You know, as you also heard, I said that the Audi, which I used to have, an Audi A3, was a car that I used to have. I have a new car now, which is an Alfa Romeo Mito. So I've gone from like two German, if you don't know, I'm on my third car. I had a Volkswagen Polo first, and I had an Audi A3, and now I have a Alfa Romeo Mito. And did that guy like hazard me? Did he like hazard me like as thank you, or hazard me like what are you doing? That's interesting. Or maybe that was just brake lights, I don't know. But yeah, I have an Alfa Romeo Mito now, and finally I have cruise control in a car, in a car that I own, and let me tell you, it is a godsend. Every time I go, I don't go mainly too much on the motorway anymore as I used to do when I was doing my university degree, but wow, cruise control, oh, it makes a difference. It makes such a difference. I think it should be just mandatory. It's just so useful on the motorway. It's also just very economical, because basically your car is basically maintaining the speed and maintaining the like a steady amount of fuel that gets you know, injected into the engine. So it's, you know, you're going to save a lot more on fuel if you whip it into cruise control compared to you controlling the accelerator with your foot, which is obviously, you know, a bit unsteady, a bit uneven. Like you could obviously like in my Audi, when I didn't have cruise control, I obviously could keep it steady, but it's not going to be as steady as a computer just holding it at a certain speed, and you know, it brakes for you to maintain the speed, it accelerates for you to maintain the speed, so it's going to keep it at that nice steady thing. And the thing with an engine, to make it more economical, is if you maintain a speed, the engine is just going to burn a certain amount of fuel steadily for that whole period you're driving at that speed, instead of you accelerating and de-accelerating yourself with the acceleration pedal and or brake, where the engine's like using different amounts of fuel. So yeah, that's my kind of update as well, with like, I got a new car, basically. Got rid of my Audi, got an Alfa Romeo Mito, so I've gone from German to Italian. Many people might be like, that's an interesting move, but you know, I'm happy with it. I really am. I love my Mito. It is, I kind of got a car for myself for like a driving experience, because I got my Polo, and I still would have had my Polo, but the engine kind of just gave way, because that was just literally such a cheap car that I bought, and I expected it to like just die basically, which it did, because I drove it basically to the top of the country and back down, which was not a good idea. And then yeah, got the Audi. The Audi was just a really nice solid car, nothing really wrong with it. There was no reason for me to get rid of it, but I found it was too much of like a family car, if you know what I mean. It was very sensible. There was nothing like sporty about it. you know, there was no real thrill with really driving it, and I really kind of wanted that because I'm a car enthusiast, so like, you know, that's something maybe you guys don't know. You know, you might think I'm a bus or train enthusiast, but I'm actually, like, I would say on the forefront of it, actually a car enthusiast. So, you know, got myself an Alfa Romeo Mito, the Quadrifoglio Verde version, which is like the hot hatch version of the Mito range, and it's glorious. I think me and my friend, one of my friends, we both have cars, we actually want to start a maybe a potential car YouTube channel in the future, so maybe stay tuned to that. Right. We are finally here at Osnabrück.
Überpünktlich.
Yes, before schedule. You know, QwertyAfro is back in town. You're going to be hearing a lot more before schedule. Right. Right. Let's whip that open for people. Not a bad return trip, really. Not a bad return trip. I enjoyed myself immensely with this. Expect more stuff on the channel from now on. I'm definitely I really want to get back into it. I have the lust to do more content on the channel. So, you know, I'm back. QWERTY's back. So, you know, let me know in the comments what kind of other games as well you want me to see, any kind of suggestions and stuff for this series or any other kind of current series I do on my channel. You can use the QWERTY forms as well if you want like a more detailed request of like a video, etc. But other than that, it's good to be back. Really nice little journey we did here to Osnabrück in this Oxford Tube repaint. I will leave the link down below to this repaint on the workshop. Do check out Jan's other repaints that he does. He's really, really good. All of them really high quality. I think most of the kind of stuff I've done already with repaints is basically all kind of Jan's stuff, but there's more of his to showcase, which I'm definitely sure I'll do some videos in the future, definitely of his other repaints and that. Let's just quickly have a little, just little brief here, see how we did. Ah, it's all splendid, all in the green. Oh my god, look at that, we're back, we're on fire, it's all good. The shoutouts again for this video go to Ryan Tan and LL10 Gaming. That's again Ryan Tan and LL10 Gaming. Their links and stuff will be down below. Show them some love. It is so good to be back, guys. I will see you guys hopefully soon in the next one. Take care and have a lovely day. Bye.
We ain't